into the playstyles of these teams.
Interesting. I think that CAG, as Gus has actually been alluding to almost every time he's on a Japanese broadcast, is that I think they've dialed back their playstyle a little bit. I think they're still CAG for sure. I think they still have their identity, but they seem a lot more measured now than they've ever been before, than literally in the past 4 years that we've seen them go back and forth at international events. And I think as a result, it's brought a lot of consistency to the team in their playstyle, but also as they are starting to get used to it, I think it's set them back momentarily a little bit, right? Because they're trying to find the ropes. They're trying to rebrand their identity a little bit, and that's always going to be hard for a team that's so well established like them.
Well, if there's a competition of who can be the most ridiculous, hyper-aggressive, unpredictable team in Japan, you would have some seriously tight contenders. You got teams like Varel thrown in there as well. It's typically what Cyclops was always known for. But yeah, as you're saying, now times are very much changing. It's actually Cyclops who ban out the Ying, and strangely enough, the Maestro, not an operator that we see a lot of play, but occasionally it does make its way out. And I just think I remember FAV playing it a bit yesterday, but I didn't exactly track it, so I can't tell you. I don't remember if it had massive impact, but it was present. And the information is something a little bit with that Valkyrie gone as well.
I kind of want to circle back to your point a little bit, because I think for viewers at home that might have not watched a lot of Japanese Siege, they probably only know CAG, right? As the names come out of it. And then when CAG at international events, then we often say like, oh, they're super aggressive, they're crazy and whatever. When you go and watch CAG in Japan, they're just another Japanese team. Yeah. And I know that's like kind of the craziest thing to say, right? But Japanese Siege is kind of just like that. And it's so much fun to watch and it's so entertaining. The skill gap has really closed between a lot of these teams because they're all starting to play the Japanese meta the way that they like to play it. They're all very personalized, I think is the right word for the way that they like to play Siege. And then I think as a result, CAG, they're not like the dominant giants that they've always been. It's really exciting that we're sending 2 new teams to that major, and now FAV, we're even saying, are in the conversation to defeat them.
I really hope that they can bring the fire here in this game. Starting on defense, I think, does afford FAV an element of comfort here. Cyclops starting on the attack, though, they very rarely look rattled, and immediately they are looking very confident, looking very eager to get in. It's Arkuli on the lurk to begin with. Seems to be entering from Bakery. He's got some drones to support him, as the rest of Cyclops do what everyone on Cafe loves to do best, and that's rappel up to the roof.
Castle will aid the setup of the defense and keep them comfortable inside of some of these power positions. But by taking down that one in the white hallway, there is a cutoff now onto that pixel position. I can't see exactly who it is playing inside of Piano itself, being aggressive there, but a couple nades to be sent through, and Anaton's actually going to swing right in through the white hallway and collect one for himself. Jabisu to collect the second, and with Anaton on so low HP, he's got to worry about the player inside a cigar shop.
And this is exactly the kind of explosive gameplay that we were promised with the Japanese Rainbow6 match. Cyclops saying, I don't know what you guys were talking about, saying that we've calmed down, we've cooled off a bit, we've matured in our old age. No, we are still gunners. And now Afro's gone down, Anaton locks it in. What a massive round for Cyclops, and the pure, undiluted aggression in the fashion that they panned it out. What a great round from them to kick off the game.
Ooh, that's an exciting way to set the tempo of your CAG. That is a way to make a statement. Round 1, go for a super unexpected play by rappelling in through that white window. It's often such a challenging window to play on, right? Once you're there, you've got to fight the guy in bathroom, you've got to fight the guy in pixel, and the Timber's position too. Not only that, but you can get run out from inside a garage. It's one of those windows that is like super finicky and difficult to play usually, but by chucking in the grenades and the flashbangs, they actually make a point of entry instead, which is super unusual. But if there's any teams to make it work, it's probably going to be Cyclops.
Yeah, if there is anyone to make it work, it'll always be CAG. That's what they are known for. And they are keeping pace here in this game. They've kicked it off with a bang, and FAV have a couple of questions they need to answer. The first one is, maybe we just don't go up to the bar again. Maybe we should change where our bomb site choice is, and I think that's probably the right decision, going down to kitchen and cooking. I think it's the right decision, but now Cyclops now have their own decision. Are we going to go for a direct dining or bakery take, or are we going to go for this roam clear into vert take? And judging by that fuse and buck pick, I think it's probably the latter.
I think you might be right about that. They will be looking to get that vertical control and make full use of the skeleton keys and the... I can't actually remember what Fuse's gadget is called anymore.
Cluster
charge.
charge.
The cluster charge, of course. Oh my gosh.
Because
I
it
can't believe
causes
I've
a bit of
forgotten
a
that.
cluster something else.
Very funny, very good. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, that floor clear will be on the cards for them. And not too much roam game to deal with. A lot of the setup of FAV is more site-centric than roam-centric with what they've got going for them. The shield in tandem with the Wamai, as well as the Runegate to protect those power positions like base for the late round. So I don't think CAG are going to find too much trouble trying to clear through the map, aided by the Dokkaebi, of course, to expedite that process.
Black Ray is the first one in, dropping red now. And as the Dokkaebi's logic bomb rings out, can't tell if he can hear a player. Thought when we were spectating him, I could hear a phone ringing, but it was a fair way away. This does really expedite the roam clearing process. And honestly, Cyclops have made excellent time here. With the fact that they've got the fuse in the buck, they should be able to make really good work of this vertical game. Plenty of time.
There is a preset C4 from Sireneko somewhere on the ground inside of mining, so as the buck gets to work, Chibisu is going to have to be very careful to maneuver his way around the floor pretty quickly as to not be blown up. That would be pretty devastating for him. Oh, I think that C4 has just gone off, and it has not killed him, in fact, so he lives to see another day.
There you go, good start here for Cyclops. I want to see this fuse really get to work. Only one cluster charge has been used so far. As I say that, the second one about to go out from Suzu. Let's see what it's going to be able to clear. A lot of util, perhaps flush out some positions. Really what you want to do is you want to get those cluster charges in tandem with some vertical game so you can cut these defenders as they start to run around.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that's why we're seeing the pressure start to come down around that brown stairs side of the map. That's Black Ray who's just peeped down, but Yura is going to look to reclaim that territory for himself. Push down the red stairs as well, happening at the same time. Black Ray now just around the top of the railing is going to see him and take down Yura, and Acrolly can double down for 2.
This has made it very awkward now for FAV. Rayseal's gone down on side. It's all up to Shiraneko, the star of the show yesterday, is now going to have to be the clutch god. Nice shot onto Anaton, but Arculi is there for the trade. And Cyclops doing an amazing job on their attacking side. 2 rounds on the trot to kick off Cafe.
Clean work from Cyclops. Nice read into the defense of FAV, realizing that there was no roam game, and so they take the path of least resistance and are able to take full control of the top 2 floors. From there, they had the full reign to make use of their vertical gameplay in tandem with the buck and the fuse, and really flushed FAV Gaming into a super uncomfortable position adjacent to the bomb site. And as the collapse came through, they did a great job of converting into the late round. So Cyclops overall showing some really good macro calling so far against FAV, who are just not ready for it.
I'm really excited by the diversity in the playstyle we're seeing from Cyclops as well. Like, round 1 was a very direct rush, you know, not a lot of thorough droning and clearing. It was very much like a kind of preset set piece, if you will. Round 2, almost the polar opposite. It's like, okay, let's just do the hard yards, clearing the whole map, make as good time as we can off of it, and then get to vert game, watch our flanks, and convert. A much more, I would say, traditional attack that we would see just traditionally in Siege, like particularly from the major regions, from the ones that have had a lot of success. It's what I think a lot of people would say is textbook Siege. And so we're seeing a lot of diversity in playstyle, and that fills me with all kinds of confidence.
I think that's exactly right. Like, I think that although CAG are CAG and they find their identity, that was pretty obviously shown in the first round, where they can really step up the tempo and do something quickly. They also know how to play Siege properly, and I think that's what really has set them apart in the last couple of years from the rest of the Japanese teams, is that although they do have their personalized playstyle, they do know how to play Siege in a way that is meant to be played. the most optimal way to play the game, if you will. And I think that's just the nature of the maturity of this team and the experience in the calling.
So funny, just saw Anaton droning using a Rotero, but not to clear any util or anything. He was just droning like it was a normal drone.
I mean, you got
just
4
has
of
a
them,
timer
fair
on
enough.
it. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I rate it. Why not? Especially if there's a mute on site that's going to make it harder to use that util on site. May as well use it to drone in your lurkers downstairs.
So I like what CAG have gone for here. They've realized that the wall going into red is actually half open, and so if you want to make the entry, dropping the red hash is not super viable. So what they've done instead is they've gone in from the floor below and are actually going to walk their way up the stairs instead. I think this is the right play to inject themselves into the building. You can see Acroly's being super cautious getting to the top of these stairs too, just in case someone's looking through that line of sight. Ooh, look at that though. Candy is going to drop through pillars to try and put some pressure down on the players that are starting out their lurk on the ground floor.
He has fallen back to the bomb site, but that does peel a little bit of pressure away from the top floor. Still 2 players upstairs. Shirineko, the first of which, holding on to bar with a very cheeky angle. Very hard to contest this position. So many layers inside of that bar that it will absorb a lot of bullets going the other direction, but that tiny hole that he's made is likely to net him a kill. The first one, actually, is for Anderson. He's made his way all the way up White Hallway. He's taken down 2 players, walked straight past the bulletproof camera, and opened up the round here for his team. Afro can trade him on back, but FAV are dropping like flies. It's all up to Shirineko and Afro on the top floor. And as I say that, it's just Shirineko left. He's dropped down below. 1v2, very winnable position though, Mandy, as Chibisu is low HP.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Chibisu is on very low HP, and he's quite disconnected from his teammate in Crowley. Now, Crowley's not overpeaking here. He's playing a very disciplined game and waiting for his teammate to come in for that pinch. Chibisu is going to wrap around the back of Shirineko as Crowley cooking a nade is going to try and send that through into pillar.
Oh, the nade goes through.
Nice
it does
nade.
A bit of damage. But Akuli has also been taken low. Chibisu to come in from behind. Very well played in the 2v1 by Cyclops. That's 3 attacks in a row. And FAV Gaming will take their tactical timeout.
Yeah, such good discipline there from the remaining 2 players of Cyclops. In the 2-on-1, it can be easy to just look for the trade as quickly as you can, but I think Acrelli played that to perfection, making sure that he didn't overpeak, knowing his teammate is low on HP, and that situation was a lot more volatile than what it looked to be. CAG, I think, once again, defining some points of weakness in the map that they could enter through. Jumping through red was really dangerous there if they wanted to make that point of entry work, and so you saw Anaton go for his same thing where he repelled in through the white hallway window and is actually able to take down someone, and meanwhile the rest of the team made their way up from the ground floor since there was no resistance there. So CAG are doing a really great job at finding the holes in the defense of FAV, and FAV just aren't really disrespecting them enough, in my opinion. They're not really getting in their face and actually trying to contest CAG in their mission.
And CAG are always finding this little way to snake into an aggressive position. I think about Anderson last round, all the way up White Hallway, finding 2 players on the white stairs. Very, very scary stuff. If you're FAV right now, I was the one saying that I had a lot of faith in them. You know, Cafe is the map where they always seem to beat Cyclops. And last time they played here, it was a 7-3 in FAV's favor. If FAV were to replicate that scoreline, they would need to win 7 rounds in a row right here. But I am fairly confident in where the momentum lies at the current moment, and it is with Cyclops. 3 rounds in a row on their attacking side of Cafe. Looking to make a 4th here as FAV go back to reattempt this downstairs kitchen and cooking bomb site.
I'm a big fan of Cyclops. I think Cyclops have definitely won the heart of a lot of people in the last few years of Rainbow Six Siege, right? When you think about Japanese Rainbow Six, a lot of international viewers at home do think of Cyclops, and it's really easy to be attracted to the way that they play the game. It's super fun. It's really enjoyable to watch. But I think that from a domestic perspective, in the last year, watching them dial it back a bit and play a more, it's more regular, but it's more calculated and measured version of Rainbow Six in tandem with their personality, I think has really brought them to being a much more mature team. Now, I think, of course, that does bring adversities too. I think it's taken them quite a long time to get used to balancing the both, and as a result, I think it has sent them through this last chance qualifier because they haven't lent into this BO1 success kind of playstyle. They're looking for more consistency. But I certainly think that if they do make it all the way through to the grand final and through the major, that we're going to see a very mature Cyclops.
I hope so. Many people do. Cyclops have had their struggles, but have been looking good recently. They did have a big win over BDS at 6 Invitational, though unfortunately they still exited in the group stage. Now for a chance to go back-to-back to international events, to go to the Copenhagen Major, they're going to have to dispatch with FAV, which they are well on track to doing here. And then, of course, take on Varel in the final. For now, though, good bit of ground taken, particularly for Black Ray, all the way up to Dining, but it's a very different style of attack here from Cyclops so far. Not the full map clear we saw last time they attacked this bomb site. Instead, much more of a direct affair.
Yeah, look, honestly, I see what they see. They see one man on the bomb site. Just one, okay? And that is it. All the rest of the 4 players of FAV not on bomb site. So they're thinking, maybe we go for the bomb site, but they have to be measured about it, right? You don't want to die to the vertical while you're doing so. You don't want to lose your life to that one player on the bomb site either. They're just trying to find a comfortable way in that is not covered by the roamers upstairs.
Well, here comes a breach. That's a very high, should be vaultable hole there from Suzu. Blackray really cautiously watching those flanks. Now the hatch is open, so it should be fairly easy for FAV to get back to the bomb site should they wish to do so. But CAG haven't quite shown their hand as of yet. They haven't committed to anything as I say that. It's opened up by Euro at the top of red stairs. He takes down one player. He's also got a good amount of information. Now there is a pick here for Cyclops and an opening for Suzu, as the util is going to come on out. But Euro has continued to be a real nuisance here on the red stairs. The Soul is proving to be massively valuable and feeling a bit of pressure, but still not dispatched with as of yet.
I can see what a CAG were trying to go for. They identified that the red wall was in fact soft, and taking the diffuser in through coat check meant that they tried to get the plant down from there, but Euro on the other side has stopped them in their tracks now. Anderton with the diffuser in hand can start to get it down, but the Solus can surely see him through the gadget.
And surely Racial is able to take him down, not even going to be needed. It's Euro to find the pick. The Solus having a massive round. That's 4 kills for Euro here. And it's all up to Blackray now. Above on the vertical game. 22 seconds left remaining. Low HP. And real slim chance of making this round work. It was a valiant effort from Cyclops. FAV Gaming had the response, and it was really all down to Euro on the Solus. Looks like Blackray isn't going to give it a crack here. He's just going to wait patiently. Take some extra time. They're going to look to hunt him down, and Euro does get the ace. What a round for FAV. What a gay way to make a statement and say that they are here to play.
Really good work from Euro to shut down the push of CAG. I admire the idea that CAG went for. They wanted to direct attack the bomb site, seeing that it was so vacant to them. But what they didn't account for was there's a pesky Euro on the red stairs with a P90 in hand, ready to fire 50 bullets into your head. And unfortunately, as they tried to make their way in from Kochek into the bomb site, Euro was there to self-handedly just deal with them, right? He was there to take those gunfights with the Solus. He could see the drones that were coming through as well, so they pushed through that side of the map was quite telegraphed to him. And then even as the bomb went down, he could see that go down with his gadget active and was able to take down Anderton nice and easy. So Euro playing the Solus in the right spot to protect him.
I've got to say credit to FAV. You know, it's hard to go for this really anti-roam strategy with that big, map clear strategy with that really big roam, and then still be ready for a site-centric push. I think Cyclops had the right read, as you were saying, but I think FAV had their number. I think Euro just had an absolute belter of a round. Now FAV have a little bit of momentum on their side, and there's a serious shot here that they could tie up this half.
Absolutely. I think that FAV, if they continue to bring along new ideas like that one, will definitely challenge the problem-solving skills of Cyclops like we saw there. I think Cyclops, once again, had a good idea, but not all that well executed, as things like ideas and unique pushes that are not super textbook can always be hard to execute in the moment, and I think if FAV continue to challenge them, they'll find a lot of success in doing so. Now, something I want to note here is that there's the army of Euro, and so we will see something like a hold inside of Piano, which CAG will be forced to clear, and there's actually not like a whole lot of explosives that they have to deal with that, right? Blackray is going to make his way in from the bottom of White Stairs and collect his first kill on Shironeko, who's been on fire for the last few days, but not tonight, apparently. And Blackray's successful lurk so far. Yeah, it's true. He was the Solus too.
Yeah, big pick for Cyclops. Good lurk. But is Blackray going to be able to deliver? He's going to find one. Looks like FAV went hunting for this lurker, and Blackray was just waiting. There's also a Bravo drone in the hallway. Could be feeding him some information, could be taking down some drones. Now, there are still a lot of power positions here that can't be taken down by the Vert, but Candy from the Vert can take down Blackray and even up the numbers. Cyclops struggling to find a real way into this round. Aside from a pick or two, they don't have a spearhead to this push.
I think they're trying to avoid the setup that's gone down inside of Piano from that Azami, right? They don't really have explosives because they don't have Flores. They only had 2 grenades, which were on Black Ray, who's gone down now. So it's not super viable for them to actually try and utility dump or clear inside of Piano. And so trying to find a wriggle into the bomb site in some other way. Now, Anaton, over and over again, has been repelling in through this white window, and surely they have a read on that. Crowley's surely going to be able to drop this new hatch. The player inside of Piano will be there to try and contest him, but Chibisu is also going to try and double down with him. And actually, Euro's decided to drop instead. Instead of playing his life inside of Piano, he's actually decided to drop and come for a flank up red, and that's given his life away to Crowley.
This might be possible now for Cyclops. Now, good positions for the 2 FAV players. They've got a lot of power from these positions, but are cornered. That does give an opportunity for Cyclops to start problem solving the issue. Candy does take down Chibisu, so that's something here for FAV. Tie up the numbers, 30 seconds for Arkuli and Anaton to work together. Have a look at this. Rachel's going hunting. He's gone for the retake, but he has been taken down. Anaton coming around from the other side. I don't think Candy's aware of his position. He gets the read, but here comes the mirror window. Somehow Candy managed to find the 1 kill. The trade comes through to perfection. Beautiful crossfire from Cyclops. And they bring that round back.
Yeah, I think towards the mid to end round there, Fav got a little bit... I think that Euro didn't realize just how safe he was inside of Piano. He had all this Azami set up there, but he didn't actually end up using it. He fell off the hatch down into mining and tried to go for a flank through red instead. I think he might have misjudged a little bit just how hard it would have been for CAG to deal with a setup there. They really didn't have any explosives to actually take down his fortress. They only had flashbangs, and while he was being supported from backstore with his teammates that were trying to cover the cross, so I think Euro with a slightly ill-advised rotation. Not just that, but Raysil as well, looking for an off timing to try and fight inside of Scar when he was in a great power position in backstore as well. It just felt like Fav, they had some good ideas. They had some good individual ideas, but not super well executed. And I think a little bit misinformed. Really gave CAG their way back into that round.
Yeah, a bit scary there for Fav. I thought that they had the round. I thought that they had the momentum back on their side after winning that nuts defense, but not to be. Now, potential for a 5-1 half. We saw how devastating it was for Exist when they went down 5-1 on, it was their defense, right? They went down, oh no, I think it was their attack. They went down 5-1 on Chalet in our first BO1 today to crown our first semi-finalist. Varel, now Cyclops, edging closer to doing the same for themselves in this game. Fav Gaming, quite a long road ahead of them. They need to, at best, get a 2-4 defensive half and then switch to their attacking side with some serious power because they've been lacking it so far on their D.
Yeah, I've got to say, it was a little heartbreaking for Fav. I really felt like they actually had that round down, on paper at least. It felt like they had all the positions that they needed. CAG weren't able to deal with that super easily, but I don't think Fav realized the potential that they have in their setup and in themselves. Black Ray once again has found the opening kill for CAG. He's been so consistent on this entry and on this lurk as they look to do this cocktail-centric mini execute to try and clear out the roamers on the top floor.
Talk about someone having a fantastic game. Black Ray has been looking very good. Now, Ray still actually does manage to get 1 kill on that run out before being traded back. Honestly, pretty astounding he was able to get 1 considering Suzu was actively watching that, but credit to Ray still. Finally off the doughy and onto the breadstick, but numbers advantage here for CAG and great positions taken. Have a look at this, Anderson already up here on the white stairs watching for this flank, and the top floor is fully within Cyclops' grasp.
Oh, Candy's got to be really careful as he tries to challenge Anaton in his position, and Anaton seems fully aware that he's going over to the left side of the stairwell and can easily clean up that final pick. Look, Black Ray was probably saying, bro, when Susie didn't cover it there, but CAG make the push work regardless. I think once again, Fav being a little bit ill-advised in some of their positioning through the early to mid-round. Once again, they were really uncomfortable in the positions that they were sitting in and tried to directly contest CAG in these head-to-head dry peak sort of gunfights. I don't think Fav realized just how safe they are in some of their power positions and always try to take the off timing onto CAG, who just seem to be so ready for it and have really been punishing those mistakes in positioning from Fav.
Oh, Mandy, I have no regrets about flip-flopping to Fav. I really don't. But I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I'm really heartbroken for FAV.
Yeah.
I thought this was their moment. I thought they had a chance. This is much more like how I originally expected the game to go, rather than how I thought it might after I did the extra deep dive into these teams' individual head-to-head history. It's so unfortunate. FAV Gaming, they know that they can take down CAG, but Cyclops are far more experienced in these high-stakes environments, right? This game leads to a major. If you win this, go straight to that final, and then the major on the other side. That's a familiar happenstance for CAG, not for FAV.
I think we're even seeing that difference in experience come out in this game as well, right? FAV, I think what is they're falling to is just themselves, in my opinion. I think that there are some small amateur mistakes in positioning that have really opened up rounds for CAG. And I think on the other side, the flip side, CAG are such an experienced team where they've played against that sort of oppressive playstyle so much that they know what to do to deal with it, and they are comfortable to play those repels, and they're comfortable to just sit in their positions and wait to see what FAV do in response to what they're trying to do on the attack. And yeah, I think as a result, we're seeing a really big experience difference here. Now, Anderson seems very keen to get this jump out onto the two players inside of Garage, but I don't think he quite realizes that there's in fact 4 of them there. Oh, actually, there's some yellow pings that are going out for him, so they've got to have some kind of info, but he's looking pretty keen. Ooh, we've seen the Claymore.
He spotted the Claymore, so he doesn't want to jump out just yet. Arkuli found one. Now, he's the Pulse playing downstairs and reading, and I think he was the one with these yellow pings, calling out to CAG that this does appear to be a very East Repel-centric cocktail push. Now, as I say that, FAV have, for the most part, repelled up to the roof and are playing around the skylight. Even Shiraneko, the last one to be on that balcony, has now fallen off. And well, the fact that we have Capitao here on the roof with his crossbow bolt ready, I feel like this might be an executing coming.
I think you might be right about that. I think they're going to look for an offbeat execute here with the Capitao and the smokes in hand. The line scan to ring out and the flashbangs would indicate it's go time.
And yet FAV don't drop as of yet. Shiraneko instead coming up from his lurk. Oh, almost a good nade, but it does bounce off. Arkuli does have a bit of information, but he must have missed Shiraneko here. He's got the cover from Anderson. But Shiraneko, a very sharp shot, shuts that down. Now, man advantage succeeded by Cyclops, but still no proper execute on the cards yet for FAV.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a bluff there. I think it also bluffed me too. I thought for sure that they would have been able to find something unexpected as they chucked down all of their utility, but they've actually decided to dial it back instead and turn their eyes towards this cigar shop position. Gone 6 in hand is going to be able to clear the first keeper barricade as Raziel decides to go straight in, playing that entry, but Black Ray's there for the crossfire.
And Chibisu doesn't want to abandon his position, instead he jumps out. Candy's ready for it. But Black Ray is still holding onto this position inside of Pixel. 3v3, but there's only 20 seconds left on the clock, Mandy. And FAV, for them, it's got to be go time, now or never. To try and stave off the match point, they're going to have to go looking for these Cyclops players who are comfortably waiting on site. Less than 10 seconds, we're down in a red time, but that's a great opener for Candy. A double now, 3 for the round. And Arkuli has to land this one. He does have the C4, but he's not going to be allowed to throw it, as FAV steal that round out of absolutely nowhere. 10 seconds on the clock, and they find every remaining defender.
I really think that the bluff from FAV actually worked to their favor in that round. It really threw a CAG off guard. I think it left them quite frazzled in the positioning on the defense. And then as FAV turned their attention towards the cigar side shop kind of part of the map instead and go for a direct sweep through the top floor, CAG players were not quite as ready to hold the crossfires because they had turned their attention to that Starlight drop or up the white stairs or wherever they thought that the rush was going to come from. I really think that was a super good play from FAV to actually go for the bluff and then double back and go for what was quite an explosive execute towards the end. They're going in deep, going for the kills, and then going for a last second plan to close out the round.
They're going to need a lot more magical rounds like that though, Mandy, because they're still trailing by quite a fair margin. 3 rounds between these teams. And CAG, by all rights, probably should have had that round. Even just a slightly more prompt play at the end round from whoever that pulse was, Arkuli, with the C4, would have closed it. You know, the narrowest margins, FAV, are still in this game. And because of that, I'm hesitant to get excited for them. Yeah, this is still a massive advantage that CAG have.
Yeah, I think FAV definitely have some signs of greatness. I think, you know, I look back on some of these rounds in these matches, and there are so many times where I think that FAV kind of got a good idea going for them, and they sort of make the right call, but they just misplay it a little bit. And I think that against Cyclops, yeah, it's going to be tough to come back from this one, surely, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom for this team. Now, they have brought along the Blitz. They've brought along the Blitz into Suzu, who is playing the Warden, who I think is the player on the bomb side. Or maybe it might not be. I'm not sure who that is behind the shield, actually. That could be Black Ray. Who knows? Someone.
Okay,
I think it is
here we
Black
go.
Ray, actually. Uh-oh, here we go.
The stun
poor
goes
man.
out. Oh, poor Black Ray. He was never going to win that, not with the flash there. And now FAV are ready to execute into the site. Here comes the smoke. But as you said, there is a Warden still alive. Now, beautiful plant position set up here. But Raciel hasn't started getting it down as of yet. He's still waiting there on the Blitz. This man advantage is slowly becoming more and more FAV favored here, as that Blitz is still waiting for someone to swing him, somebody to push him to lock in the round. Yura's found another one. CAG are falling to pieces here, Mandy. This attack from FAV has been on another level. Just 2 players left from Cyclops to try and pick up the pieces as Yura starts to go deep, and eventually that plant will begin to go down. Yura finds one. Could it be flawless for FAV Gaming? After stealing last round, they have grabbed this one by the chain and yanked it onto their side. A 5v1, and Anaton may as well give up now.
Oh, it's tough stuff for Anaton. 5-on-1 now. FAV with a really well-called execute onto the bomb site. Pushing off the tempo, pushing off beat, and deciding to not go for something methodical and sweepy, and taking full advantage of that Blitz to make their way into Bakery. And now Anaton, I think, is going to feel the full force of that Blitz too. Oh, he's actually going to knife him through the shield!
I have no idea how he managed that one, but fair play to him. He does eventually get taken down by Shiraneko. Man, if I'm Raciel, I'm pretty upset about that one. But if you're FAV, you can't be upset about the round. Another fantastic attack, far more dominant than the last.
Yeah, Raciel's probably like, oh man, I've been robbed. I've been robbed of my 2k. Poor man. Poor Black Ray though. We saw him absolutely get decimated right at the start of the round by Raciel, who decided to call, let's do a Bakery push off the back of the Blitz. I really liked what they did there, where they dialed it back and allowed the rest of the FAV players to actually set themselves up for the retake before getting the bomb down. I think by having all the FAV players inject themselves adjacent to the bomb site, they were super ready for all of the rest of the CAG players to try and come back towards the bomb site, and they really cut them off even before the bomb went down. So overall, really great from FAV to make a call like that and execute it to perfection.
I think this might be a tactical timeout for, I didn't see, did they say tech or tac? If I'm Cyclops, I probably would recommend taking a tactical timeout right now, though. There's been a bit of a sketchy last couple defense. Tac, we have confirmation from production. Now, what is CAG going to be talking about now? They failed a bar cocktail defense by the slimmest of margins. They failed their kitchen cooking defense by quite a dominant margin. What are they going to do now on their third attempt? I believe they haven't even won a defense round yet. 5-1 half that FAV have been fairly comfortably bringing back.
I gotta say, I think the defense is a little hard without Valkyrie and without Maestro as well. I think there's like a severe lack of info, right, for the defense, because you just can't really call what's going on. And I think Maestro in particular is quite an important operator to have on Cafe. You can get those bubbles in a lot of spots that are very hard to clear for the attack, and often aid, especially the mid to late round, quite a lot for the defense. So I think, you know, I can see why Cyclops are struggling a little bit to get an in onto what FAV are doing and stop them in their tracks. That being said, Azami is on the board as we thought, and so is Solus, and we haven't really seen the full effect of those two either. So I think CAG have just taken their tactical timeout to actually try and figure out what tools they can use to the best of their ability that they can.
You got Azami, you got Solus. You also got Mirror, which is now being taken out by CAG. Create these great positions to hold upstairs. Though it seems to be both of these teams on their attacking side find sneaky ways around these power positions that the defense is setting up. And a lot of it just comes on great playmaking. Candy has been one to do that on that bar attack. I think 3 or 4 kills with the Flores, big round. Currently at 2.0 KD as well on the bar this round. So really good stuff from FAV we've seen on their attacking side, and I wonder if they'll be able to bypass these mirrors somehow.
You know, this might be a super overthinking comment here. Like, I might be colossally overthinking it, but I actually like that they've decided to bring along Malusi with the Banshees and the extra set of barbed wire as well on Chibisu. I think it's just good to have some of that passive intel go down when FAV are looking for like things like lurks or rush plays and stuff like that. It's going to stop them in their tracks like a little bit. It's going to give time for the defense to have a little bit more of a response if they try and make like that mid-round adaptation and then they get stuck in a hallway because there's a Banshee there or there's some barbed wire or something like that. I think it's good. Yeah, maybe it's too intricate of a comment to make, but I think it's good.
I still reckon one of the most underrated secondary gadgets for defense, but have a look at these secondary gadgets for the attack. Lots of flashes going on in, but CAG can stave off the push for now. 3 kills, 4 kills. Candy makes it 5. CAG find match point at the drop of a hat with an explosive attack from FAV that fall flat.
Yeah, mini execute there onto the top floor for FAV. They tried to execute over inside of that cocktail and Scarlet positions, but a little ill-advised in my opinion. A lot of those flashbangs were eaten up by the ADSs. You could hear them bleeping in the backgrounds. And Blackray was pretty comfortable in a spot with the shotgun in hand. He wasn't full white at all, and him and Anderton could double down to clean up the round.
No second chances now for FAV. Mandy, they can keep trying those explosive executes, but even one tiny mistake, even one well-placed ADS, even one missed shot, and the game's going to be over. Match point here for CAG. They are very close to booking a spot in that grand final against Varel. What a rematch that would be, Mandy. I think CAG probably favored to win if they make it to that grand final. Already took down Varel once in the knockout stage, and while CAG have had a rough run of it this stage, I think they are ready to make it happen. Wait, what?
How on earth does that happen?
That Banshee
so there was a Banshee on the long bar, but if you destroy the long bar, it destroys the Banshee. That doesn't make any sense.
Unlucky.
I think I'm about as confused as Blackray is. Anyway. That would be an exciting match though, Dev. I really am keen for this grand final, like especially if it's a CAG versus Varel. Like Varel, such an up-and-coming team, so much excitement behind that roster. Their playstyle is enjoyable to watch. It's brought us entertainment for weeks on end. And if they can take down Cyclops, who have played so phenomenally today, it'll be such an exciting grand final to watch. Just can't wait. Now, Dev, I've got to say, I'm feeling a bit more validated about my barbed wire comment now because Visu's also brought it along instead of Impact. So I feel like I thought about the right thing. That's good.
Yeah. Love barb. We do love barb.
Wire.
We do. But FAV Gaming have started. Bit of Flores action on the roof, clearing out some util, destroying some of the bars that are so handy to hide behind on the defensive side. The ES Army has been picked, as you mentioned, and Chibisu's created very nice power position here inside of Piano, but no reinforcements on that top red wall. I mean, it's fairly easy here for Yura to breach that with one of his Roteros. Now he'll be coming for the player. Chibisu put under a hell of a lot of pressure with a nade that lands squarely at his feet and takes him down very low.
Yes, I think Chibisu's really struggled in that position. They have so many explosives on the side of the attack. They've got Flores, they've got Zofia, and a set of grenades as well, and flashbangs, but they didn't even need to clear anyway. There's no Jaeger, there's no Mumai. So Chibisu, I think, was set up to fail, unfortunately, I think in the position that he was in, and has decided to fall away with his life, realizing he can't really play that for much longer.
Akuli's on this roam down below. He might have a chance at finding a run out here. Elsewhere, attempted a run out fails, it seems. But Cyclops have managed to keep even on the player count. Yura's gone down, but so has Chibisu. Now, Chibisu was already low HP. Candy's found another pick. This is a big one here, and a big turning point for FAV Gaming. They've taken down that Roma, and now they can focus fully on this bomb site.
They've done a really great job at being able to cut down on this cigar side of the map. Now it's going to be up to Afro with the Hibana to start to open up the wall going into backstore. But that also means that he has very little Hibana pellets left to deal with mirrors. I think he's only got 2 more in hand, and there's still a mirror window facing into backstore, I believe it is, from Anaton. And so there's a whole... Oh, actually, there is no mirror window there. The mirror window is on long bar instead, which I think has just been opened up and inside of bathroom too. So they actually might not need the Hibana pellets anymore. They could be set up for an execute.
Yeah, but still a lot of tools available, a lot of positions available for CAG. Anaton fully flashed, Blackray as well. And here comes the execute, but Blackray finds one with the gas. It's all up to Anaton now in a 1v2. The C4 might just land. Shiraneko, no, it's Afro to get the round for FAV Gaming. A couple of quick ones there with the bearing to lock in the round, and FAV Gaming are not done yet.
Really nice push from FAV there. I like that they started out on the Cigar side of the map and they played the utility game and were able to flush Chibisu out of his position. That gave them full control over inside of Cigar and inside a stage of the map. Of course, all of Backstore being closed off makes that position a lot safer for the attack to be able to repel in and play. Even though there is a mirror window on that bathroom position, that can be pretty easily taken down with the Hibana that Afro did such a good job of doing. And FAV overall, they took the step-by-step methodology they needed to clear out the top floor and go for an execute.
Well, step by step is the way that FAV trying to bring it back. 5-1 to a 6-4. That's not terrible. I mean, it's pretty rough that they're still staring down a match point, but they found 3 rounds to Cyclops' 1 in this half. They have been finding a lot more savvy breathing room on their attack compared to their defensive side. Now they're going back to attack kitchen and cooking, as CAG are still locked out of that reading fireplace bomb site. Now this last time was a great blitz rush from FAV, but this time they're not going to bring it. This time we're going to have to see something else.
Interesting strat from CAG as well, actually. They don't seem to be holding onto the bomb site at all. They're going to set themselves up to hold completely adjacent to the bomb site, I think is what the setup's going for. They've even reinforced off the rotation hold from Whiskey just in case the attack gets that control really quick. They don't want to give away that like coat check reception mobility to the attackers. And it's decided to go for a spawn peek out of the exit door, but doesn't connect the shots into anyone, but Chibisu can on his own.
Yeah, big peek from upstairs in Piano. Or was that the player, I think, must have been rappelling on the window, perhaps, for Shiraneko. A lot of util to go down, and a big impact player from yesterday's match against Crest. Shiraneko had a fantastic day, really one of the reasons why FAV achieved that upset. Now he's down and out early as FAV start to decide what is their push going to be. Yura's already in the top floor, but all alone with no drone ahead of him could spell danger.
Wow, that's a really quick roam clear though, like super fast pace set by Yura now on the roam. On board we are with him. Roam is now in the ground floor that he's got to worry about, so we'll have to dial it back and send out a drone of his own, making sure that there is no one that can flank up the red stairs. Still 2 players here inside of mining, but they have their fall-off route down the freezer hatch. Candy can at least claim one back onto Anaton, and that evens up the man advantage.
Candy's been having a great game so far, but oh wow, Candy, another one! The wallbang, well played. But Suzu is starting to harass him with those yokai drones. Looks like all of Cyclops have managed to get themselves back to site, or at least back to the ground floor, as Suzu is still here holding on to this VIP position.
This has been a really exciting round to watch. That roam, super back and forth. They played the trade games and have decided the better of it to fall off with the man count evened up and the time wasted on the clock. FAV still have all the tools they need, however, to formulate and execute if they so wish. Skeleton connect shots on these who's decided to pull off into a safer spot inside of that split double. As FAV can start to plan out the next phase to execute, they have a lot of options here. I think they could do either. They could go for a bakery take or for a freezer take, and both of them I think would be viable in this position. I think bakery take almost more so viable, to be honest, with the way that they've set up freezer.
Well, that's where Candy is right now, and Candy has been the primary fragger in this match. FAV opening up a larger line of sight, still have some concussions in the back pocket as well. As here comes Yura down the red stairs, able to make his own rotation into sight, but Chibisu is just around this corner. 20 seconds to go. And FAV, push has to come to shove here. Chibisu coming for the flank, but what a flick from Yura! And CAG might have it happen once again. Akuli, though, finds one. The cover is taken down. It's all up to Afro in the 1 versus 2. Falling back into Bakery, trying to hold these positions. There's a lot of time to burn here, and he spots one player. Where is the second, he wonders. Suzu coming down the red stairs, but Afro makes it a 1v1. We are down on time, but Akuli with the wall bang to win the game for Cyclops. It just would not be a Japanese final, an opportunity to go to the major if Cyclops were not in the running. They go all the way to the grand final, and they've got a date with Varel.
Seriously valiant effort there for FAV to try and take down the giants of CAG, the name that we know and love out of Japan, to fight in the grand final for that Copenhagen major spot. Really nice game there from CAG. They looked super composed throughout the entire series. We saw them dial it back and play a very advanced and diverse style of Rainbow Six, and